on.
Yes, it's a good day.
Scorpio.
Max?
Malcolm Max Scorpio.
They call him Max.
Scorpio.
No, that's not him.
Teresa, you're on.
Oman! Hey, everybody! Welcome to Tea Time. That's right, it's Monday, 8 o'clock, and it's June 29th. So let me talk about my weekend real quick, and I'll get to my guest. I want to tell you about my weekend. First, I want to give a big shout out to my long life friend, Joanne Norton, who's in Florida. I've known Joanne since I'm 3. She's 4. Our grandmothers were best friends. Our mothers were best friends, and we're best friends. 3 generations of friends. You don't hear that too often, do you? So I want to wish Joanne a happy and a healthy birthday. I love you, my friend, and I hope we see each other sooner than later. Okay, my weekend. Friday, I got excited because, oh, Lord, I was able to get my hair cut and colored, and you know I needed it. And I went and I wore my mask, and she took off 2 inches, and I blew it out myself tonight. I think I did a pretty good job. What I do Saturday, you know I don't have a green thumb, but my front yard and my backyard needed some color, and I decided to get these beautiful pink flowers, and I dug, and I planted, and I watered, and it looks so nice, and I'm so glad I did it. And then Saturday night, I went to Coasters. We social distanced. Everything was fine. It was great to be back there. I'm hoping to do shows and karaoke. So Coasters is one of my sponsors. Shout out to Jen, the bartender. We had a very, very fun night, and it was great seeing everyone again after being away for so long. And Sunday, you know, Sunday's my chill day. I did laundry. I just relaxed, maybe watched a little bit TV. All right, so listen, before I introduce my guest, because I'm so excited to have her tonight, I want you to watch something with me, okay? I've been watching General Hospital since high school, back in the 80s, and I got a special message from John York, who plays Mac on the show. Take a look.
Well, hi there, Teresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because someone you know and love, whose name happens to be Valerie, is very, very proud of you for all the work you're doing. Apparently, you have a great talk show called Tea Time with Teresa Farrell on Strong Island TV. Now, is that tea time? Is that a golf show about making a tea time and then playing a great round of golf? Or is that tea time where you gals are all sitting around sipping tea and talking about General Hospital? I like that idea. But I also like the golf idea because I'm a golfer, as maybe you know. Anyway, and she also tells me that you do some comedy with a group called the Hot Italian Chicks. Oh, no, it's the Italian Chicks. I think you should change the name to the Hot Italian Chicks, don't you? I do. Anyway, I'm proud of you. Valerie is very, very proud of you. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So stay safe during this crazy, crazy COVID time, and stay healthy. I understand General Hospital might be coming back into production in mid-July, which I'm very excited about. I hope that works out, that they figure out all the safety precautions that we need to take to get back into production. Valerie also tells me that you've been a fan for since what? You were a teenager, and that was about 10, 15 years ago. So thank you for 10, 15 years of your dedicated support. So continued success with Tea Time with Teresa Farrell, a fantastic talk show, and the Hot Italian Chicks. I'll take credit for renaming your group, and have a lot of fun. No doubt you are. It sounds like you are. So congratulations, Valerie. Thanks for letting me know how awesome your mom is. All right, sweetie. Have a great day, Teresa. Bye.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. How about that, man? John York. Love him. Thank you, John, so much for that. It means the world to me. I want to say hello to Jen Lentini from Coasters, and hello, Greg DiFilippo in Florida. Stay safe, my friend. Things are a little crazy in Florida right now. So listen, I want to get to my guest. She is a stand-up comedian. She is a writer. She is a director. She is an actor. please help me welcome Rhonda Hansome to my show.
Hi there.
I'm so excited you're here, honey.
Delighted to be here.
Thank you so much for doing my show. I just want, I want to introduce you to everyone. I want to tell everyone about you. You're a New York girl. You grew up.
Absolutely. Born and raised in Brooklyn. A Bed-Stuy girl, Bed-Stuy, do or die, mostly die.
Bed-Stuy's in the house. But you're actually living now in the South Bronx, are you?
Yes, I am, and you may hear firecrackers going off during the show. Yes, I am in the South Bronx.
I'm sure you are. So listen, you are a girl who went to Catholic school her entire life.
From kindergarten, St. Ignatius Kindergarten, and I went all through elementary school and high school.
Wow.
In my stand-up act, I say my high school was St. Virgin in the Bushes.
Oh my God, that's great. So listen, you went to college. Obviously, you went to
Brooklyn College. Brooklyn
College, and you studied performing arts, basically, right? But you switched over your major, right?
Yes, you did a little research, girl. I gotta hand it to you. I was actually a sociology major, and theater was my minor. And in the last semester, I switched them so that performing arts was my major. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So once you graduated Brooklyn College, what'd you do?
I was looking for work as an actress. It was very challenging for me to find that. I didn't know where to go. I felt like Brooklyn College the performing arts school didn't prepare me for real life show business. You know, they didn't say you got to have a picture and resume. Get an agent, all of that kind of stuff. Right. And so I was knocking around trying to figure out what to do. And I started doing some community theater, working in, at that time, there were a lot of community theaters. And then I was fortunate enough to be picked for a special workshop with the Muppets.
Oh, how cool!
Yes. And it was so exciting. I've got to tell you. And you know what? It would make a great reality show because it really was like that. There were a bunch of us that, were pulled into the workshop, and every week they would teach us about puppetry, and we would work on characters, and every week another person was gone. You just didn't see them anymore.
Now, was that scripted, or was that a lot of improv?
It was a workshop where you're improving constantly, you're creating constantly. Jim Henson, rest in peace, and Frank Oz, that wonderful film director, as well, taught me puppetry. And I actually had the opportunity of performing with them on the first show of Saturday Night Live.
Holy cannoli.
Yes.
Frank Oz and Jim Henson. That is insane.
And I continued on with puppetry for a while, touring, teaching. Wow. And I also, I was also involved as a secretary of the Puppetry Guild. I really enjoyed it. And then I saw someone doing stand-up on a cable show, and I said, I want to do that. And I started doing it, and it really took off. Let me
just back up a minute and ask you a question. I heard, that you were in the movie Pretty Woman, and you played a Bermuda, a prostitute.
Yes.
So did that come before or after the stand-up?
Well, it sort of came a little after the stand-up began. It came a little after the stand-up began.
And how did that happen?
That was really an exciting time for me, Teresa, because it was the first night of shooting on the film. It was the absolute first night, and I was in the trailer getting makeup put on, and I asked the actress next to me if she knew her lines, and she said, "Yeah, she
Uh-huh.
did." And I was asking her because Gary Marshall improvises a lot. He improvises a lot on set, and
Right.
so she said she did. And then I later found out that that was Julia Roberts sitting next to me. She had just come out of Mystic Pizza. She had just finished doing Mystic Pizza.
Right, right. So what was it like to be on the set and be in your first movie? That must have been really exciting.
It was incredibly exciting, and I have to tell you, it was a little frightening because, as I said, and a lot of people know this, Gary Marshall is the king of improv, one of the major people, in comedy, in TV and film, and I didn't realize that's the way we were going to be going, but it was a great initiation for me because I went on to do improvisation with the First Amendment Improv Company and to really enjoy doing that for quite some time. Improvisation is a very different experience than the stand up, and but it's fun and exciting. It's like walking a tightrope.
Right, right. Yeah, it is. It is. It's like flying by the seat of your pants. Absolutely. But to work with, I mean, Gary Marshall on your first film, that's like,
It was the first night of shooting of Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman. Yeah.
and then and then you went on, you started in comedy in 1980, 80-ish.
Yeah, yeah. I saw some comedians in Canada. That it was an all male lineup, which was very interesting. Because when I started,
It usually is.
it was always all male comedians, and it seemed like they were all doing Star Trek jokes. I was on vacation in Montreal, and I went to see what was happening there, and seeing it live and seeing a woman do it on television. I felt like I can do this. This is.
And girl, you did it.
I
Did.
did.
Not only did you do it, but you opened up for Anita Baker, the Pointer Sisters, Diana Ross, James Brown, Smokey Robinson, the Temptations, and Aretha friggin' Franklin. Hello?
Aretha friggin' Franklin, indeed. Yes, yes.
I mean, holy cannoli! That is some lineup. I mean, you should be really proud of yourself. Seriously,
I am proud. I feel
am.
fortunate. I feel so fortunate to have had those experiences playing in Atlantic City, Tahoe. But the real highlight was being at Radio City Music Hall and seeing my name on that marquee with Anita Baker, walking down 6th Avenue, Avenue of the Americas, and looking up and seeing Anita Baker and Rhonda Hansome. It's great. It really is great.
Well, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. You know what it is? I mean, friends of mine are, they're very into visualization and putting things out into the universe. And, I think we all, at some point in our careers, we all question, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Because sometimes you don't feel like you're validated enough. And, you're trying to find a shiny star to keep you going every now and then, And I'm gonna continue that thought when we come back. I'm gonna take a quick break from my sponsors. Don't go away, everybody, because I have more at Rhonda, and it's gonna be good.
Come on back.
Back.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Tavolo Kitchen and Pizza, located at 1919 Wantaw Avenue in Wantaw. Hey, there's something for every night of the week. Tuesdays, pasta night. Wine Wednesdays. Friday, live music from 7 to 10. Sunday, brunch. So check them out at 516-308-4892 or www.tavolokitchen.com. They're also on Instagram. They do catering and private parties. So where do you want to go tonight?
Are you bored?
Oh my God.
Hold on tight. We're gonna coast this.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you joined me tonight because I have Rhonda Hansome here with me, and she is a stand-up comedian and writer and director and actor. And before we went to break, I mean, this woman opened up for, again, Anita Baker, the Pointer Sisters, Diana Ross, James Brown, Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, Aretha Franklin. I mean, to play at Radio City with Anita Baker and see your name in lights, this is amazing. Before we went to the
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, really. But before we went to the break, we were talking about, sometimes, having a little doubt and validation. Was there ever a time where you said to yourself, do I want to keep going with this? Did you ever have, thoughts about doing something else?
Yes, I did. There came a point where I was doing a lot of work in the Catskills as well. I actually feel like I honed my teeth there at the Raleigh, the Villa Roma, the Concord, the Granite, all of those places. But I also felt like I had to censor myself there. I had to make sure that I did not rub their audience the wrong way,
Right.
because they seem to be very proud, very beautiful people, but very proud of being able to say who they walked out of the showroom on,
Okay. Wow.
and so I felt a little constrained by that, and then I also felt like it was over time for me to have moved forward to television or film. I was
Right.
very surprised, that I didn't even have a pilot or, a picture deal or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that combined with a bit of discomfort in my marriage, actually had me put everything on pause.
Right. Right. Well,
All of those things coming together. It really wasn't one thing. It was all of those things coming together.
mhm.
And after my divorce, after being on my own for a while, I started to really miss being able to express myself as a stand-up, as a creative person, as a director, all of the things that I love. And I came back to it, and it was very interesting coming back.
It is, isn't it?
Very challenging, especially when you walk into a club and now nobody knows who you are, and they're asking you if you're there to see the show.
And you're like, no, honey, I am the show.
Honey, I am the show. Exactly. But I'm so happy now. I really am so happy now because I'm doing so much in addition to the stand-up. I mean, so much is going on. I can't even believe it. Actually, after I'm on with you, I'll be on Sirius XM later tonight with John Fugelsang.
You're on every Monday night with John Fugelsang on Sirius XM, and that must be a blast too.
It really is, and his wonderful audience actually, gave me the hashtag Tall, Dark, and Handsome Monday, which is very good. I absolutely love it. And John is a wonderful political comedian and a great talk show host. He has so much experience, not just on radio, but TV. And so I learn a lot every time I'm with him. But I'm also a writer and a performer on the Politipod podcast.
Okay.
And that's on SoundCloud. And it's a whole different way of expressing myself. And writing with a group of people and contributing to a podcast. And it's something I never even expected to be doing. And I find that so enjoyable. So Politipod podcast is on SoundCloud. and I have just started
Yes.
the most incredible collaboration with an illustrator. We do cartoons together.
Yes, I heard that.
And he is someone that I knew from theater. I actually worked with him as an actor and a stage manager, directing him. And when I was very involved with theater in my community, and he is such a talented illustrator. And I reached out to him, and we sort of clicked immediately on this completely different area of cartooning.
Mhm.
And I feel like I can't even turn around one way or another without having a new avenue of expression for myself, Teresa.
Isn't that great though? Isn't it great? I mean, as entertainers, we have many facets. And as women, boy, we know how to multitask.
Absolutely.
Right now, I had the pleasure of meeting John Fugelsang a while ago. A friend of mine, a comic, Irene Bremis,
Oh yes,
was performing in Manhattan, and
very
John was
funny
there.
lady. And I went to the launch of her album. I really like her a lot.
I was there that night.
We were probably sitting right next to each other.
Yeah, I went the night that she recorded it. That's when I met John. Sweet, sweet, sweet person. Yeah, I'm hoping to get Irene on, because now we could do it like this, because I know
She's gorgeous too, which I love.
she is.
Gorgeous and funny.
You also performed in Women of a Certain Age with Carol.
Oh my gosh, yes. Carol Montgomery is the founder and producer of Funny Women of a Certain Age comedy, which is on Showtime. She has 2 Showtime specials, but Women of a Certain Age comedy started on stage, and I was in that first show that launched Women of a Certain Age comedy. And I am so proud to be associated with Carol. She is inspiring, not just as a comedian, but as a producer. I mean, she's always pushing, and I love that energy in her. And I'm very proud to be part of that rotating cast. And before we went into quarantine, I was part of the rotating cast that would play in different places, all around New York City, and even travel to venues out of town.
Love that. I love that. It's great. And you also you were on Arsenio Hall.
Oh, yes.
Rhonda, things that make you go,
You're good, Teresa. You're very good.
Thank you, Rhonda. Just keep saying it out loud. I'll soak it up.
You're very good, Teresa. I got to give it to you.
Rhonda, I hope you and I work together one day, because I think we're gonna have a lot of fun.
I agree with you. I've got to tell you an interesting story about the Arsenio Hall show. This was at a time when I was flying back and forth from one coast to the other, and I flew out to do the show. And I always dressed up when I did stand up. I loved, the earrings, the short skirts, and I used to have a weed whacker hairdo, all of that stuff. And I got there, and the dress that I brought to wear doing the show was exactly the same as the back curtain. Exactly the same. It was all sequin and black, and it just went right into. And I went in for a rehearsal, and they said, "Do you have anything else?" And I go, "No, I don't." I run to the Beverly Center, which I had never been to before,
Right.
in a rental car. I buy a pink suit, which I really didn't care for, but I was crazy. I had just flown in from New York, and I knew I was not ready to be on the show in that beautiful black sequin dress that was made for me. It was actually made for me. And when I couldn't find my car in the Beverly Center, I was so anxious. I was so.
Did you Did you keep that pink outfit or did you like burn it?
Well, you know what? It was very expensive, and what happened was when I did the show, they
Yeah.
actually had another dress for me that was beautiful. It was sequin, but it was multicolor, and I
Uh-huh.
didn't blend in. But the pink suit never looked nice on me. It's so funny. It's so funny that you asked that. You're gonna make me love you forever, Teresa. That is so interesting.
Ah,
That suit, I would keep trying to wear it because it cost me so much money,
right.
and I never liked the way it fit. I never. But the worst thing was like trying to figure out where the heck my car was in the garage at the Beverly Center because I just didn't pay attention. I just got out of the car and started running to go see if I could find something to wear.
Oh my God,
And that
that's so
pink suit never looked good.
Oh,
Never
man.
looked the way I wanted.
Listen, before we take a quick break again, I want to say hello to Captain Splash, aka Giovanna. Hello, Joan. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Ro. Thank you, everyone, for watching the show. I'm so glad you tuned in tonight because I'm with Rhonda Hansome, and she is amazing. And I want you to like the show and please share it, okay? Don't go anywhere. We've got so much more at Rhonda. We'll be right back. Stay there.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Tavolo Kitchen and Pizza, located at 1919 Wantaw Avenue in Wantaw. Hey, there's something for every night of the week. Tuesdays, pasta night, wine Wednesdays, Friday, live music from 7 to 10, Sunday brunch. So check them out at 516-308-4892 or www.tavolokitchen.com. They're also on Instagram. They do catering and private parties. So where do you want to go tonight?
Why don't we go to Coasters?
Oh, cool. I heard it's a great place. Let's check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Oh my God.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're here tonight because I have the funniest, talented stand-up comic, writer, producer, director, actor. She's done it all. Rhonda Hansome's in the house.
Yes.
So that was your Arsenio story. I want to know about you being a movie reviewer for Joan Rivers.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, this was one of the most exciting and a little nerve-wracking, but it was just incredible. Joan Rivers, when she was doing her talk show here in New York City,
Yeah.
asked me to be her movie reviewer.
Wow.
Oh my God. I have chills just remembering it because I couldn't believe it because she's like a queen of comedy. She really is
Absolutely.
a queen of comedy, and I miss her. And she was one of my idols, and I love that she always dressed up. I love that she always did that. And that was one of the reasons why I did it.
Mhm.
But I have to tell you, when I did her show as a comic. And because when a new talk show came out, they would always put a comic on because we were self-contained, we were funny, and they could just throw us any place. And she asked me to be her movie reviewer, and it was just a thrill. It was really a thrill, and I will always remember her for that, and be grateful for having that kind of contact with one of my idols. It was really tremendous.
So how long were you a movie reviewer for, Joan Rivers?
I think I did, I think it was either 2 or 3 shows or something like that. And eventually the show left from New York City, and she went to the coast.
Yeah.
But for the short time that I was part of it, it was incredibly exciting, incredibly exciting.
So you also performed at the Apollo Theater.
Oh,
Let me tell you something. You know, when I started in comedy back in the early 90s, I was told there's one club in Brooklyn that's like the toughest audience, and it's called Pips.
uh-huh.
You can make them laugh there. You can make anyone laugh anywhere. And I have to say, I was happy to have a good set there because I'm a loud Italian New Yorker, so I went over well. But the Apollo Theater,
Wow.
what was that like, Rhonda?
That was wild. That was absolutely wild. I got to tell you. Even though I didn't have any issues around my outfit because I wore the outfit I didn't do on the Arsenio Hall show, the black sequins. There were a lot of musical acts on that night, and I was being featured as a comedian. I wasn't part of the amateur hour. I was being featured as a comedian.
Yeah, well, I would think so. I mean, it's the Apollo Theater, and you've opened up for, huge names.
Al B. Sure was the host. And I had been in the dressing room for I don't know how long, for quite some time, because when you do these live shows, you have to get there early and you wait and then you do this check, that check. And I kept waiting for them to do my makeup. They said, we'll do your makeup.
Okay.
And no one came for me. And then I hear over the squawk box, over the PA system, Rhonda Hansome report to backstage.
Okay.
And so I hadn't had my makeup done. I'm trying to do my makeup coming down the stairs.
Wow.
They had been really focused on the musical acts that had all of these female background dancers.
Yes.
So they just forgot about me.
Fly girls.
Yes, all those, yes, very fly girls.
Uh-huh.
The thing about it was, Al B. Sure, by the time I got there, all he said was, ladies and gentlemen, she's open for the Pointer Sisters and Aretha Franklin. Let's hear it for Rhonda Hansome. He never told them that I was a comedian.
Oh, he never announced it.
He never said that I was a comedian.
Oh,
So
they thought you were going to sing. Oh, boy.
Thought I was going to sing.
Oh, Lord.
And I start talking. And it was like,
you know as well as I know, when it comes to an Apollo audience, they don't give you that much time to prove yourself.
That's right. And I couldn't believe that Al B. Sure had not said I was a comedian.
But
so I spent the first minute, and TV sets are very short. I spent the first minute saying, I'm going to talk with you, we're going to have fun, blah, blah, blah. At the end, I had them, I got my round of applause, and I felt like, oh my God, I really pulled that off.
Pulled it off, yeah.
But the first minute was really a nightmare. Almost as bad because it was on television, but I was on tour with Anita Baker, and I really got along well with the Perry sisters, her background singers, and the whole organization was really great to me. We all traveled to the venue in North Carolina, and we get there and we're doing our thing in preparation, and we realize that she has gone to the city with the same name in South Carolina.
Oh no.
So they're holding the show. The venue I don't even believe the venue was that modern, wasn't that modern.
Wow.
So people are standing, the place is packed, they're standing, it's hot, and the show is being held up. And when they finally realized she was coming from South Carolina to North Carolina, they told me to get up on the stage and do my opening. So now these people are crazy. They're absolutely crazy. I get out there and I start trying to yakety yak, and they're going, "You're not Anita. You're not Anita. You're not Anita."
Oh no.
And I did my act, and I am so grateful for muscle memory because by the time I finished, I was standing on the stage. I only had about a foot and a half of space because the band was all set up behind me, behind a curtain. By the time I finished, I could barely see. I couldn't hear. All I knew is that I had done my 20 minutes,
Wow.
and they had to help me off stage. They had to actually, because I was lightheaded and kind of crazy. All I wanted to do was have a drink and sit down and mind my own business. But you know, those things actually happen. Not, thank goodness, not that often. Not that often.
Right, right.
But yeah, I've had some of those interesting times.
I'm sure you have. But listen, I also want to talk about you directed a short film called Couples Therapy.
Oh my God.
I want to
Yes,
talk.
I did. It was my first short film.
I know you love to direct. That's one of the things you love to do.
I do love it, Teresa. I love directing. And Rowetta Lee Smith, in fact, we just talked, we texted today, and we're going to talk tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to talk about, but it's her film. She wrote it, and she's featured in it. But what was kind of exciting is that I cast Jamie Roberts and Nikki Sunshine, who are celebrating their anniversary this week, as the couple in the couples therapy, and Rowetta is the therapist, and it was incredibly exciting. It's like just everything was done in one room, and I felt like every shot there was either a equipment or a PA, a production person in every shot. And I'm going, oh my God, because we were in such a tight little space.
Yeah.
And the editor, Veronique, did such a wonderful job. I mean, it was just fantastic. And we're hoping, you know, COVID has put a pause on a number of things.
Yeah.
But, I'll see what the writer, you know, is talking about tomorrow. But couples therapy is really, it's funny. And it stars the comedian couple in real life, married couple, Jamie Roberts and Nikki Sunshine, who were both a joy to direct.
Wow, that's great. And you also, what did you do with Melba Moore?
Oh my goodness, that was an honor. That
Sweet
was
Sounds, the Sweet Sounds of Soul. What did you do with Melba?
I directed her. I mean, she is an R&B star. I mean, you know, in her own right, as well as producing and managing other acts. But the great theater producer, Woody King Jr., asked me to direct Melba's one-woman show.
Did you have jaw drop when you hear Melba Moore? Like, do you you want me to direct too?
Yeah, but we not only did it here in New York City at the Henry Street Settlement, but we took it to the Bermuda Festival, and it was sold out there. It was one of my highlights, you know, and I'm so glad you brought it up, because sometimes I forget that how wonderful it was being part of the music festival, and directing Melba Moore in Sweet Songs of the Soul. It was great, and she was actually a joy to work with, and I feel so blessed. You keep reminding me of all of these wonderful
blessings. We have many blessings.
Yes,
we do. We do. And sometimes, I wake up every morning. I say, thank you for giving me another day. You know, everyone's like, oh, have a good day. I said, I woke up this morning. I know it's a good day. You know,
absolutely.
We're blessed to have so many different people come in and out of our lives, and just, you know, put some, you know, sunshine on it, so to speak, you know, just some beautiful lights.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Light. Well, listen, I want to also talk to you about your show, Lie Baby Lie.
Well, you know, thank you for bringing that up. I have had the pleasure of directing the one-person shows of many comedians and many really good actors, and this is my one-woman show. Actually, my second. The first one was Last Stop Before Dreadlocks, which was
That's great.
yes, Last Stop Before Dreadlocks, which
Love
was
it.
a lot of fun. This one, Lie Baby Lie, actually came out of my my blog on Facebook called She's So Funny. You can go to it by she'ssofunny.org. It was a collection of short stories about my life, and it's so funny how it works out. Each blog was just an individual thing, and people started asking me if I did storytelling, and I
Right.
had all of these true stories
Yes.
on my blog.
Yes.
And I've got to tell you something, Teresa. The people in the storytelling community have been so warm and so welcoming to me. It's a different vibe than doing stand up, you know.
Right.
But I have to tell you how much I have enjoyed being welcomed into the community, and because I was doing all of my individual stories, they started coming together as a show. And again, I had as uh, a counselor, as a third eye, I had Carol Montgomery and the fabulous Nancy Lombardo, two great women comedians who have, a great eye and great wit to sort of just be a third eye for me on
Right.
Lie Baby Lie. And it's basically how my mother, a very ambitious,
Della.
yes, Della, oh, yes, my
I have to say, you speak about her. First of all, I want everyone to watch it. Go on YouTube and watch it. It's about 45 minutes, and I loved every minute of it.
thank you.
I loved the way you sounded like your mom. I loved the way you brought out her personality. We knew who she was right away.
Yeah, yeah. And it's true tales of sex, murder, and gentrification,
Yes,
and
exactly.
how my mother survived being an Alabama country girl on her own in New York City, how she survived in Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
And I was actually planning on uh, taping an album for so that people could purchase it. That for a Mother's Day release, I have been talking with a producer about that, and COVID came in and said, "I don't think."
COVID, listen to me. COVID really kicked everyone's ass. It really did in more ways than one. And hopefully everything that we all planned on doing we'll be able to do eventually.
Or something even better, Teresa.
Yeah, exactly,
Or
exactly.
something even better.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes you look at other different paths and highways to, come to and work with, because we're limited now. And unfortunately, our industry is the last one to return back to work. So we're all just trying to, make something happen. But you speak so beautifully of your mom. And like I said, I loved it. She unfortunately passed at a very young age.
Very young, yeah. But the interesting thing, and I hope people understand how I'm saying it. I feel her so frequently. When you have that kind of connection with someone and they pass on, I tell her I love her, and when I feel her near me, it is such a comforting feeling.
Yeah, it's special. I have one of my best friends who's like a sister to me, passed away 4 years ago, and I talk to her every day, and I really feel she's directing my career from up there. She's helping make things happen for me. I believe that with my heart. But you talk about, growing up and going to Catholic school. You talk about your mom. You talk about the man that she married. You talk about you yourself got married at 19, a very young age.
Very young. I got married very young, and I was married for a very long time. And I got to tell you this, Teresa, I had a very successful marriage. My high school sweetheart, I married my high school sweetheart, and we raised a fabulous young man.
Phil, right? You married Phil, and you had Seth.
Yes, Seth, and he's great, and he's actually on the front lines working with the homeless in all of this mess out here
Oh, God
in the
bless.
world. He works through an agency that that supports the homeless and looks out for them, tries to get them to services and medicine and all of that. I had a very successful marriage, and I will always hold on to that. And as I had mentioned before, once I felt uncomfortable with where my career was going, and whatever discomfort I felt in the marriage, you know, those things came together at the same time. But we were together since we were children, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
And
you actually met. You met in an improv class?
no, not in an improv class, but I was the director of a youth organization that was for brotherhood. It was a brotherhood organization, and I was the director of the Youth Drama Guild. I was in high school, yes, and I had an actor didn't show up, and I saw a guy sitting there and I needed somebody to read, and I said, "You come up and read," and he was representing his school. It was one of those situations where young people from all different high schools would come together and have discussions. We called them rap sessions sometimes,
Right,
and
right.
we would present um, short dramas for that would spark conversations, and that's where we met. And we were together for decades, and we have a beautiful son. We share a beautiful son, and I have to tell you, Phil's family is still my family. My sister-in-law and I well, my sisters-in-law and I are close, and we talk and get together when we can. So I'm proud.
That's nice, and it's rare. So that's a great thing. Was that when you were the director of the youth drama group of Brooklyn Chapter National?
National Conference of
It was
Christians
the Conference
and
of
Jews.
Christian and Jews.
Yes, I was the Christian, he was the Jew.
He was the Jew. You know, my grandmother's dream was for my sister and I to marry nice Jewish boys. She did. She married Michael Goldfarb.
They have a good reputation, I gotta tell you.
My mother said they treat their wives good.
Yes, that's the rumor. That's the rumor.
So is there anything that you haven't done that you want to do, or anyone that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Well, there are a lot of comedians that I admire, a lot of directors that I admire. I'm in a demographic now where I don't know if I'm on their radar. I feel like I haven't been on the radar of a lot of people who I would like to work with.
Right.
So what I've been trying to do is work with the people who come to me, you know, the people who know me, the people who recognize me and appreciate me. And I'm working on something now. It's in a fledgling stage. I'm working with a woman who is a comedian who's older than I am, who's older than we are.
Okay.
She is relatively new to comedy. She calls
Wow.
herself a red diaper baby, if that means anything to any of your audiences. And we're working. We're trying to see how we can collaborate on some kind of broadcast or something. And the name of what we are doing is called Lo and Behold.
Oh, cool.
So we're working on that. And you know, when I was a young comedian, I was very thirsty and always looking for what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Like I said, I couldn't believe that I never got a 3-picture deal, because I don't know if you remember at that time, Teresa, they were paying people not to work. Do you remember that? You'd get a contract and you couldn't do anything else. You had,
Right. Yeah, you
and I'm
exclusive.
going, where's my deal?
Right.
But, and I really I resented that never happened for me. But now I'm in the situation where it's more important for me to be creative,
Right.
expressing myself, and being authentic with the people that I'm working with, and enjoying it, and not being someplace else. I would be with the Queen of Soul, and I'm going, how come I'm not in California doing another movie with Gary Marshall?
It's because
So
it's a very crazy, fickle industry. I mean, back in the 90s, you remember the show A Current Affair?
yes,
Well, my girlfriend was a producer, and she says, I want to do Funniest Girl from Queens, and I end up winning the contest, and they did this whole expose on me, Teresa Manzo, back then, and I'm thinking, someone's going to see this. I'm going to end up on SNL or get my own sitcom, because back then, your top 5 sitcoms were all comics, so I can totally relate to, how you feel, but, I feel the same way as well as you, to stay humble, stay authentic, try to work your craft in so many different ways, because you can have all the talent in the world, Rhonda, and you do.
thank you.
But life is all about timing, and God has his own way of laughing at you when you make plans. You know what I mean?
Yes. But I have to tell you something. I am so impressed with your research. and
Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. But listen, we only have 1 minute left, and
oh my gosh,
see how fast it goes, Rhonda?
that's because you're so good at this.
Oh, stop. Listen, you could come back anytime you want. You know that.
Thank
But I
you.
want people to know how they watch you, how to follow you, how to get a hold of you. So let them know, please.
On Facebook, Rhonda Hansome Comedy. I always put up, what I'm doing, things like your show or whatever's going on. That's on Facebook, Rhonda Hansome Comedy. I do a lot on Twitter at Rhonda Hansome. That's like a handsome man without the D. And then, thank you. A lot of people don't get that, but
I love that.
And then also on Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I'm on the gram. As Rhonda Full, RHONDAFULL. So if people can stay in touch with me. I want them to follow me, like me, and share me, and let them. And I want everyone who watched your show to say something about it, because you are really fantastic.
Oh, thank you. That means the world to me. Thank you.
And I enjoyed the interview. I like that you surprised me. I like that we had so much that we could relate to, and I thank you. I thank you.
Oh, I thank you. Listen, my time is up. I want to thank everyone for watching Tea Time tonight with Rhonda Hansome. She is amazing. She's amazing, amazing. I want you to go to YouTube, watch her videos, watch Lie Baby Lie. It's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry, really. And I loved it. Thank you so much. Stay right there for a quick minute. Don't go away. Bye, everybody. I'll see you next week. And you better tune in, because it's going to be a great show. Stay safe. Ciao.